you come all the way from the UK and get experience to see American boxing and also UK boxing?
Okay, so 2 or 3 years ago, UK boxing was dominating. There was show after show, and it was high quality fights, big names. You know, we had the Joshua Klitschko fight at Wembley. We had numerous pay-per-view fights with Dylan White, like Joseph Parker fight, Chisora Takam, big fights like this. We've seen this year with DAZN coming in, a lot of the fighters are going now to America because the purses are much bigger here. DAZN have injected a lot of money, ESPN have injected a lot of money into the American market. So America is where it's at right now. So I love it coming here because Vegas and New York are like the capitals of the fight game, really. Call this the Mecca of boxing, I agree, and Vegas is like the capital of the fight world. So I prefer it here. I have to say though, when you go into the O2, have you been to the O2?
Not really, but I'm willing to.
Amazing.
It's one of my places really in my bucket list.
You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised because it's not like the Garden, that's special, but the actual setup, the way it looks on fight night, is perfect for a boxing arena. 20,000, and when it's sold out, which normally it is because UK shows sell out like that, it won't last. The tickets won't be on there for more than a day. That's a big difference in American and UK boxing. When there's a good show in the UK, even when there's a medium, an average show, that they'll sell out within 1 or 2 days, right?
Oof.
Absolutely. Like when even I'm not even talking about Brits. When Golovkin came for the Kell Brook fight, gone like that. When Lomachenko came from the Luke Campbell, gone like that. And they go because of Golovkin and Lomachenko, not because of Campbell and Brook.
Oof.
They go because of that, because the UK fans know about them. Who else? If Canelo wouldn't, but say Canelo came to the UK, it would go like that. Wilder, if he came to the UK, it would go like that. But that's obviously the difference on here is that the purses are ridiculous here compared to the UK. The way Vegas pays for fighters, New York, LA, the purses are double, trebling compared to what you'd earn in the UK. So even though the gate sells that quickly in the UK, the fees that they pay here, it's on another scale. So I can see the shift that's happened this year, and America is definitely dominating boxing. But now you've got the Middle East coming in as well. Ooh. So maybe next year we'll be saying how there's no big fights here and they're all going to the Middle East. Who knows?
Hey, I mean, eventually, you know, we can see that there is money right there. I mean, oof.
A lot of it as well.
A lot of it. What do you think? You know, Saudi Arabia now, Andy Ruiz going, you know, against for the rematch with Anthony Joshua.
Great fight.
What can you speak even about two different styles, like, you know, this break it down, you know, like okay, AJ styles, Andy Ruiz styles.
When I came here for the first fight, obviously being honest, I thought Joshua would stop him 6-7 rounds. That's what I genuinely thought. Andy Ruiz, watched him in the Parker fight, watched him in the Dimitrenko fight, very impressed. I thought the Parker fight in New Zealand was very close. It could have gone his way. So I expected a decent enough fight, but Joshua was a massive favourite, and everyone was talking about Wilder, everyone was talking about Fury, and Andy Ruiz, I don't have to explain what he did, I'm sure all your viewers know what happened that night. So going into it, I think Joshua has to change his style. If he boxes the same way he did on June 1st, then I think it's the same outcome. But I'm sure you know, he's not stupid. Ron McCracken's not stupid. They will change up, and they'll employ a different game plan. Probably just keep it long, use his reach, use his height, and trying to box his way to a points win, get them titles back, and then try and make the Wilder fight, try and make the Fury fight. He'll have a mandatory called on him though. I think IBF Kubrat Pulev, USYK WBO mandatories, which is another good fight. Alexander Ruiz. But I hope he can get the titles back, so that it keeps the Wilder fight and the Fury fights alive.
Oof, that's a fight that a lot of people wants to travel there. Of course, this fight nobody wants to miss it because I think um, it was, it is a fight of the year. You know, when it comes to heavyweight,
heavyweight, 100%. I think Spence Porter was the best fight this year. I think the biggest shock definitely was Ruiz Joshua. No doubt about it. I expect a little bit more of a boring fight in Saudi though, if Joshua boxes the way people expect him to. As I said, just keeping it long, using his height advantage, because at the end of the day, get these titles back, and then you can make the monster fights with Wilder and Fury. But obviously, if Ruiz does the same as he did on June 1st, then I'm sure PBC will look to make Wilder Ruiz. I think they might skip the Fury rematch, which you can't blame them. You know, it's the same promotional company, and they would have all full belts, so it'd probably happen. Not good for UK boxing, but it'd be massive over here, wouldn't it? You know, you'd have a WBC champion, Black American, against Ruiz, unified Mexican champion, first ever, and you could do that like on Mexican Independence Day. You'd have obviously the massive Hispanic community behind Ruiz and Wilder's fans, and it'd be just incredible for American boxing.
I think boxing, you know, is getting, you know, getting in a bigger stage, you know, like way. I mean, don't get me wrong, way before, you know, back in the days when we used to see Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, and all these, you know, great heavyweight champions. It was great, but now I think it's developing more and more and more, where the platform we can now see fighters from Russia, UK.
Oh, just because of the internet. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, absolutely. I think the best two eras there have ever been was obviously that Ali era with Frazier and George Foreman, and then you mentioned the era with Tyson, Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe. I don't think them two eras have been beaten. If we can maybe get Wilder to fight Fury again, and the winner to fight Joshua if he beats Ruiz, and then, you know, another fight between Wilder and Joshua, and then another fight between Wilder and Fury, and then Fury Joshua, maybe you could have an era similar or better than the ones I mentioned. But first thing first, Joshua's got to get his belt back on December 7th in Saudi Arabia.
Hey, you know, as far as me, you know, when it comes to keep an eye on these fighters, I want to see what outcome is going to be, because I think it's very interesting, and looking forward to see, you know, all these great matchups that Wilder, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Parker, even USYK. We want to see next week. Oof.
Yeah, I don't really know too much about Tyrone Spong. I can't say. You know much about him?
No.
I heard he's did he do kickboxing? I
think some of that. I read a little bit of him, because you know, I mean, not too many people knows about him, but hey, I think this is the best time in order to see, you know, what outcome he's gonna bring against USYK.
I love Usyk, man. Exceptional.
He's one of the best pound for pounds, and
I think I have
his
number
weight class.
3. But he does get hit. Michael Hunter boxed well against him. Bradis gave him a very good fight in the World Boxing Super Series. It's whether he can take that power. He took it at cruiserweight. Like Gassiev is a huge puncher. He took that fine. He took Bradis' shots fine. He didn't really get hurt. He just got caught a lot. If he can take similar punishment against Joshua, against Wilder, I mean, that's a long stretch. Who takes punishment of Wilder? But if he can take it off the big boys, then there's a serious problem for people in that division, because he'll clean up. But it's a question whether, if he, you know, keeps shipping them shots like he did at cruiserweight, can he absorb it at heavyweight? Or maybe he changes his style. Maybe we'll see, you know, a really more defensive Usyk, not someone where in the cruiserweight division, you know, he'd engage a bit, because he knew he couldn't really get hurt. Maybe we see a different one at heavyweight. Who knows?
Oof. I want to see, you know, what he's gonna bring in order that now he made that step in order to be in a heavyweight division, and we can't miss, you know, next week at the Winters Arena, Chicago. It's gonna be a great card. The Zone, Matchroom, all these, you know, promoters, they've been working in order to make this fight happen. Great fights coming up soon. Umar, any message that you would like to add it, to the fight fans and everyone?
Yeah, subscribe to your channel and subscribe to IFL as well.
There you go,
IFL,
IFLT,
MTK
and
Global.
the MTK, ladies and gentlemen, Umar from the UK with us. Thank you.